Welcome to the Dr. Leadership Show, where we take a look at how you approach your work and personal life and how we can make the most out of both of them. A weekly get-together where we get real about self-improvement and development as we all make this not-so-easy journey through life. Our discussions will cover ideas and concepts from how to grow your career to how to lead your family towards prosperity and happiness. We don't pretend to know it all, and the doctor is the first to be vulnerable, discussing his own weaknesses, both past and present. This is about growing together and having some fun while we discuss what is happening in the crazy world we live in and how to make the most of it. Let's strive for awesome together. Let's get after it. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Dr. Leadership Podcast. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, missed you last week. If you were looking for a new episode, I actually retired on April 1st. Not an April Fool's joke. It was actually a great day for us. And after 30 years of leadership, 36 years in the industry, and 44 years since I started working full-time whenever I could for Dad during the summers. So it has been a great ride. To all those friends, family at work out there that listen, hey, just one more time, thank you so much. Very, very special way that everyone kind of helped me off into the sunset. I'm not leaving, as I said to everybody. I'm still around. Listen to the DR Leadership Podcast, of course, and you can stay in touch with the guy that does this every week. But missed everybody last week. Just kind of took a deep breath and was very appreciative and thankful, and did a lot of praying and all these things for what my wife and I's next step are. And some of you know, but we're getting a place. We've bought a place in Portugal. And very excited about that. It'll be ready in a couple years and 18 months or so. And we're very excited about getting over there and living on the beach and seeing all of Europe and being thankful for everything that's great about America, but also very excited to see all the things that are great about Europe and North Africa and all the different things that we have planned to do. So very, very exciting times. I am going to keep my feet wet in the business a little bit, doing some consulting, of course, through the DR Leadership Podcast. And of course, we do some executive coaching. We do some training, making some trips over to Asia. I'll be in Bangkok in May doing some speaking. Very excited about that. South America in the fall, it looks like. And then sometime over in Europe this summer, too. So very, very excited about that. Check out our website. I haven't brought this up in a while, but you can go out there to the www.drleadershipresults.com. You can see all sorts of goodies out there, what we do. All the legacy podcasts are out there, 150 some odd episodes now with the Leadership Lounge where I bring guests on, etc. But there's a really important button out there. Go down and click on subscribe, and then you can get early access. So for all the members today listening, you're getting access to this early. And it's as simple as you all know, simple $5 a month. You can cancel at any time. You get early access to all the content coming out. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday morning or after Wednesday, you are not in the know, man. You were not part of the club that got access to this stuff early. Again, you can cancel at any time. Go out and check it out on our Patreon site. But go to www.drleadershipresults.com. Click on subscribe. Takes you through the steps. You enter a little bit of information. You get a thank you personally from the doctor. And then away we go on some early access. Also, remember, you can email us. Now that I'm not in everyday life with all these hundreds of people that I've had the privilege, thousands actually, of people that have been very impactful on my life, and hopefully I've had a small little interaction and impact on them, I'm looking for ideas. So if you have good content ideas, please email us at drleadershipresults@gmail.com. That's drleadershipresults@gmail.com. Send us a note. Or you can click on contact us at the website too. So wanted to bring that up. As I said, it was a surreal week, right? You do all this work and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, that's kind of it for that chapter. And today I want to discuss a big topic which came to mind in all this. We will need to listen in on here. It's a topic that will help us all live what I think a larger, more rewarding life and a more secure life. So what I am diving into today is how we all need to understand that nothing in this life is guaranteed. It gets really easy to get caught up in just the everyday life of going through the actions and thinking a lot of things are guaranteed, but nothing in life that is good or expected can be what? Nothing in life can be taken, for granted. All right? So this really kind of struck me this week as I was kind of reminiscing and thinking about things and counting our blessings. But human nature doesn't always benefit us around this topic. We assume things without regard to what it really takes for goodness and happiness and kumbaya moments to exist and be maintained, right? I mean, it's one thing to have good stuff going on, but how do you maintain it? What don't take things for granted means, here's the actual quote. I looked it up and said, what does taking things for granted actually mean? And this is what the old Google artificial intelligence engine spit out. Appreciate what you have and not assume it will always be there. This statement encourages us to show gratitude and awareness of the present moment. That cannot be more concise and exact. I'm going to read it again. What does not taking things for granted mean? It means you need to appreciate what you have and not, all capitals, assume it will always be there. Again, this statement encourages us to show gratitude and awareness of the present moment and what you've had in the past, right? This is a great quote that comes to mind that I don't even know who to credit it to, right? This is just the AI engine spit it out. But I looked up some quotes around what is not taking things for granted, and this was the one that resonated with me. The things you take for granted, someone else is praying for or hoping for or pleading for, right? Wow. That one hits home, right? I mean, there's the old one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Came to mind when I read that. But what you take for granted, others are praying for. Think about how fortunate we really are, each and every one of us. Many times, our human nature pushes us towards envy, jealousy, for things we believe others have or are experiencing, and we forget to be thankful for what we actually have. Envy and jealousy, there's not an uglier set of terms out there. I've talked about this a lot on the show. I hope it's not ad nauseum. I hope you're still getting something out of this conversation. But those types of things you need to push away from and get your mindset right, because let's think about a few things that are really important and we should never take for granted, right? The things that we all just assume are going to be there forever. Don't be envious of someone's bigger house, bigger car, bigger bank account. Work harder if those things are important to you. Strive for security and financial freedom and all those things we've talked about dozens of times. But don't allow your sights to be past what you have in your life. First, let's talk about this one. Do you take your health for granted? I mean, I know that I do. I have. I'm trying not to. But many of us, we wake up every day. The first thing we ought to be is thankful to your Lord, your spiritual guidance, to whatever, that the eyes opened and the heart's beating. That is not to be taken for granted. What I mean by this is, do you think you're going to automatically live to a ripe old age simply because you want to? Do you think it's just, man, I'm destined? A lot of people think, I think about this. My mom's going to be 96. I could easily think, I got some clean sailing here for another almost 40 years. Then I remember my dad died at 85 and was fighting Alzheimer's at his late 70s. That's a little bit closer. What in the world are we doing to ourselves if we just think, healthy life, I'm due? Is it owed to you? Nah, no, it's not, folks. Let me tell you a story about how I know it's not owed to you, even for being a good person, etc. I have a person I love very, very much that is fighting an aggressive bout of Alzheimer's. A beautiful soul, very wealthy, didn't guarantee anything. Money means nothing. She spent most of her life giving to others, never drank, never smoked, but here she is in her early 70s, diminishing away. And the sad thing, I mean, that's very, very sad. This is a person I love with all my heart. But she feels wronged, right? And this is where you have to be very careful because we're not owed anything, but she feels wronged by life. And it's a very tough mental state that she's going through where she takes this victim attitude on at times, that they've faced it harder than others or they have done everything right. No, you haven't. Nobody has. Everyone has secrets or things in their closet that they don't want, skeletons to come out, etc. But this is a very, very good person. God-loving, loves her children, loves her grandchildren. All those things are great. Has a whole bunch of money, can afford the best health care in the world to fight through this. But the fact is no one, no matter how well you think you have led your life, is above facing health issues. Don't take your health for granted. Exercise when you can and consistently. Eat better. I need to do both of those better. I need to exercise more often. I need to exercise when I can. I need to eat better. All those things are part of my retirement plan. I've walked the last few days. I've taken chocolate out of my diet the last 3 days. Now, I put enough chocolate in my diet the 2 months before that I got to stay clean until I'm like 74 to get even. Man, chocolate's good. Does anybody else have just something that just, wow, chocolate and then cheesecake? Everyone in my family knows, man, cheesecake, whew, look out. Then if you can put some chocolate sauce on the cheesecake, sign me up, man. Diabetes is a way to life if I keep getting my way with cheesecake. So, but you gotta concentrate on these things. Your health cannot be taken for granted, as the first thing I'm going to talk about here. You got to get outside for your health. You got to interact with others. You got to use your mind. Don't live in fear about health. Embrace it. The person I'm referring to fighting this became so fearful during COVID that they've never recovered. And I really think it's exacerbated the mental decline, right? It's turned into not only a diagnosable Alzheimer's things, but then just not good mental health because everything is an explosive situation. Some of that's the disease in which she's fighting, but other things are that she has just become this fearful, angry person because why me? And the why me is, first of all, you're in your 70s. Kids died of cancer yesterday at the age of 3. Kids were born with debilitating diseases and mental health issues that they'll never live a normal life. Don't have 72 wonderful years of memories. So we always have to understand that although we may be fighting something, others are too. Others have fought bigger endeavors than we are, right? So work on your mental well-being. Be strong and tough and don't believe the propaganda push, to stoke our fears. I mean, the press and the TV and the social media, try to stay clear of that. It's impossible, right? I watch the news every day and I have biases on what I think. I think it's been proven throughout, especially the last 8 years, that my beliefs have come to fruition, and not being mental about it, just being very dedicated to factual and understanding common sense. But don't let the fear get you, right? Your health, the 6 inches between your ears, I talk about all the time. You've got to concentrate there and make sure that that's in a top-notch spot. Everyone that doesn't think like you is not a Nazi, as an example, or a fascist, or a misogynist, or a racist, or a rapist, or whatever. It's so funny. People project, especially our politicians, project out there what they're actually doing. You look at this Doge stuff, not to get, I'm going to get a little more political now that I'm out of a big corporate job because this stuff aggravates the hell out of me. But you notice that all the savings that Doge is finding, nobody's saying that the savings aren't real and that the bullshit that they've been spending money on is not a big problem. They're mad that they're looking. I mean, the criminals have been exposed here, both parties, and let's let them get run out of here, right? Let's work on those things. That's what's stoking people's fear. These people that get up there and instead of saying, hey, we've got some problems here, they just start calling each other names that should never be utilized. Nazi is not a simple term to do. There's calling people Hitler. Hitler was one of the most evil things that's ever been placed on this planet, in this world. Just because you don't agree with someone politically doesn't make them Hitler. I mean, these people are really, really mentally ill, and it's unfortunate. Our media pushes these items to divide us and to hold on to and acquire power. You got to remember to keep your mental health above board here and understand you're being manipulated. Understand that it's propaganda from both sides. Take a deep breath, do some thinking, use your intellect instead of your emotion in these things, and I think you're going to be better off. But don't get wrapped up in this stuff all day, every day. Work on finding peace in your life for your health's well-being. Look at the sunshine and appreciate that. Get out and get the vitamin D. Go for walks. I've taken the dog for a couple walks this week since I've now retired and have some time during the day. I'm trying to run in some errands too. I limit myself to 1 or 2 errands a day so I got something tomorrow, right? Now I'm planning on what can I do tomorrow, not on, oh my God, what do I got to do tomorrow? It's a very enlightening and happy feeling just for everyone that's wondering. But just get out and do some things and get your mind on others. Meet for coffees, go to dinners. We had a wonderful dinner, my wife and I, with my nieces, 2 of my nieces this week and their husbands. One husband couldn't make it. He was flying back and got caught in some weather and was not able to make the dinner, but he was there in spirit. Had just a wonderful time. Laughs and, God, hugs at the end. Just, man, family is so much. So that's your health, right? You can't take it for granted. Let's talk about your job for a second. Do you take your job for granted? Maybe you hate it. If that's the case, find something else to do. Don't just pound yourself into the pavement of mental distraughtness. I don't know if that's a word. Hadn't even written it down, made it up as we went here. Don't let the mental fatigue of not liking what you do get you down. Now, they used to say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. No, that's a hobby. Do what you love. It's still work. Work is work by definition. Find something that you're really good at in work, and that'll make it happy because you're really good at it. But do you think your job is always going to be there? Do you take for granted that paycheck's showing up in 2 weeks? Hey, man, guess what? Things happened. Like I said, I just retired after 30 years last week, and I have seen lots of ups and downs in the economy. Like what's going on right now with the tariffs? It's going to come back. This is not to be, oh my God, the world is ending. You don't lose any money unless you sell. Hopefully you're not in a position where you need that money right today, all of it at once. Suck in on your spending, ride this thing out. It will bounce back, and it will bounce back stronger. We're making tough decisions now because if we don't, not a Republican or Democratic statement here, if we don't make some corrections, folks, it's all over. Your kids and grandkids going to be hungry and cold. Promise you. I've seen lots of these ups and downs. Like I said, I have a daughter and she is the hardest working, sweetest, greatest heart person out there. Love both my kids very, very much. But she's a really sweet soul. She just experienced a downsizing of her job out of nowhere. Has a good conversation or weekly or monthly wrap with her manager. Everything's going good. 2 hours later, her manager's back on the phone with HR going, hey, sorry, we made a decision to downsize. They cut a bunch of positions. It happens. We all have to understand that hard times are always just around the corner, and we need to protect ourselves by living a couple things below our means and saving and investing. So you can't take that paycheck for granted. You can't take the job being there forever for granted. You can't take the annual merit increase for granted. You can't take that you are always going to be able to afford rent for granted. By living below your means and savings, you're going to help offset this. We need to constantly be improving our skills, our knowledge, our capabilities, our intellect to ensure we are as viable to our employees or our customers as possible. Maybe you're self-employed. You got to be good. Let's talk about if you're a salesperson here. I experienced this thousands of times. If you're a salesperson, don't take that deal or that customer for granted. I've asked, reps hundreds of times, you're forecasting this deal. Why do you think they really like me? That doesn't mean shit, Jimmy. They just don't like saying no to you. That doesn't mean you're going to win the deal. I guarantee that the other sales rep, she thinks they like her too. Which one of you do they like best? It's like your kids. You don't like either one best. Treat them fairly. They're going to make a decision based on what their outcome needs are. So don't take that deal or that customer for granted. Someone else is getting up today whose only goal is to knock the shit out of you and that customer, is to take your deal, is to take your current customer. Do you think that you should be able to sit on your laurels and just sit back and take them for granted? You have to exude excellence every single day in your job. Success is not granted. It is rented. And guess what rents do every day? You cannot take your financial well-being, your job, your career for granted. Things happen. Maybe you're in a family business. Dad owned the business, or your parents gave you a bunch of money, or your grandparents saved you a bunch of money. Don't take for granted that that's always going to be there. Third generations ruin financial family wealth more often than not. It's a proven fact. So none of this is for granted. Great things in life are rented. Rents due every day. This all ties into your financial well-being. This last week shows how important a focus on savings and investing in a diversified portfolio and group of items is. If you think you're saving enough, add 5% more. Then the next month, double that. It is a big deal that's going on right now. It's all going to be okay. I promise you. I'm 100% confident. Trust me, I could be an absolute mess in the corner 3 days after I retire, that the market goes down 10%. All of them, right? It's a big number that on paper is no longer in my pocket, in my wife's pocket. But I'm not worried, because if a 10% impact would cause us to have to be worried about our retirement, we didn't plan very well. We can take a 50, 60, 70% hit because we live below our means and we save. Doesn't mean I did it all right. Should have saved a lot more. I wish I had a whole bunch of cash right now, I'll tell you that, because I'd be going in the market. Remember, fear causes loss of funds and courage causes gain of funds. Right now, the strong on Wall Street see this as a buying opportunity. Don't take for granted that the market's going to continue to go down. Don't take for granted that the market's going to go up forever. Did you think that 12, 15, 18% gains were just going to go on forever? Look at any 5-year period. Look at any 10-year period in these markets, and there's significant dips followed by significant gains. They're called corrections for a reason. This thing isn't going to be at 100,000 in 7-8 years. It's going to be at 62, 64,000. It's not going to be at 100,000. It's like the people in 2008 that thought that the houses were just going to appreciate. They were going to roll in the new one. The low interest rates were going to be there forever. Look what happened. Got a bunch of people who are stuck in their houses because interest rates are so high. Now, the bond yield going down is going to drive interest rates down on houses. You're going to see a housing boom come in the next 24 months, in my opinion. I'm not an investment person. Don't take any of this as anything more than just the doctor spewing out his heart and soul. But you're going to see housing market heat up. I'm in a new subdivision. My builder's got 19 houses up right now, or going up. Sold 3 last week. Boom, boom, boom. He's betting on the come. Smart guy. I'd stay there. So your financial well-being and your savings and your investing needs to be consistent and ongoing so you can handle these what-ifs. My daughter, fortunately, she had some money saved up. Lost her job. She'll have a job next week. She's had like 9 interviews in the last 2 weeks. She's got a number of choices because she's skilled and concentrates on her capabilities. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't some tears when she called on the phone. Couldn't believe it. Felt like a loser for a minute. I said, you're not a loser. You've been pushed toward a better opportunity by someone else's mistake. Their selection. Can your life withstand a big financial negative impact? I don't know. I'm asking you to look inside at yourself. Could you lose your job and cover your bills for 6 months or a year without going into borrowing against your 401k and without going in and pulling out of your Roth IRA and those types of things? If you're 23, 24, can you do it for 90 days? That's what you need to have saved at 23, 24. By the time you're 30, you better have 6 months worth of emergency savings available, liquid. When you're 40, you better have a year. When you're 50, you better have investments that are 15 times your annual earnings. When you're 60 and ready to retire, you got to have 25 times your annual expenses to be able to use the rule of 4% annually. You can live and go for almost perpetuity taking 4% out. You got to concentrate on this stuff, folks. You cannot take for granted that When I get closer to retirement, I'll work on this. Can you handle a big medical bill? Again, you're taking your health for granted. Then you take your financial situation for granted. Suddenly your health goes to shit and you didn't do anything on your finances. Double whammy. Don't let yourself get in that position. If not in a good position here, what are you doing about fixing that? Start living below your means. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't let envy and jealousy push you into bad decisions. Work on your health. Go get some sunshine. Save some money. You'll feel great about yourself. I promise you, it becomes your habit, and then it becomes what gives you the goosebumps and the good vibes, is when you look down and go, man, we made a big step this year. Last 2 years of my wife's life and I, when we look down and we start talking about retirement, I was going to work another year, but we had worked really, really hard. This isn't a pat me on the back. I'm just saying the good feelings feel really good when you can look down and go, you know what, I'm going to do it now. Because I lost friends at 59 years old. Never saw retirement. Got a family, someone I love, fighting Alzheimer's, early 70s. This shit can hit any of us. So keep working at it. Finally, the granted piece, and this isn't the last topic that you could talk about this. It could be anything, but it's one really important one. What about your relationships? Are you a good friend? Think about it for a second. Are you a good friend? One who cares about others' successes? Or are you only excited about your own wins? Do you help others just for the sake of helping them? Just to be a, quote unquote, air quotes here, good friend? Are you a fan for your friends and loved ones? Or are you in some sort of demented competition with them in your own mind? I don't want them to do well because then I'm not doing the best. Whew. Get to some counseling. Get to some counseling. Be a cheerleader for others. I promise you it'll pay dividends in your heart and soul. It's amazing how good cheering for others can feel. I chose to do that 30 years ago. That's why I went into leadership. I wanted to cheer for others. It wasn't about a title for me. It was about helping others be all they can be. And I don't have all the answers. I'm just a cheerleader. I've got a lot of answers because I made a lot of mistakes, right? Experience comes from wisdom. Wisdom comes from lack of experience, making lots of mistakes. Just don't make them twice. Do you take your spouse for granted? Is the house always clean and you think that just happens? Or are you showing appreciation and gratitude? Is the yard always beautiful and the bills always paid and you just expect that? Or do you approach your loved ones and give them a big hug and tell them how much you appreciate all they do every day? Maybe it's a mix. In my family, my wife and I, we both do both parts of that. She'll go out and pick weeds for 2 hours. I think the yard looks perfect. She'll come in with 2 bags, and then I feel like a failure and go, I got to put some more shit on the ground out there. She shouldn't be able to find any weeds. I do a lot of cooking. She does most of the cleaning. But you know what? She cooks. I clean. And you know what? If you aren't showing and telling and giving appreciation and gratitude to your loved one, shame on you. You don't have to be overbearing on it, but just a simple hug. Hey, I really appreciate you doing that. I love you. Just tell somebody that you love them today. The net, folks, is this is not difficult stuff. But it takes a concerted effort to be appreciative and to show gratitude. Be thankful and strong. Do the right things when people aren't looking. Be appreciative when people aren't expecting it. Say thank you when someone holds the door. Wave as you're driving into the neighborhood at the neighbor. Be a trendsetter, not a follower in this stuff. We need happiness and we need friendliness in this world more than we ever have before. This will lead to the longest, most prosperous life you can possibly have. Be healthy and happy. Be awesome. And keep that shit up. Talk next week.